Diversifying your pantry is so important for the overall nutritional value and preparedness aspects of your pantry. Today we're going to talk about why it's important to diversify your pantry. Hello everybody and welcome to SuttonsDaze. If you're new here, my name is Lisa and we're all about pantry preparedness. And it's January, which means it is the January Pantry Challenge. How are you all doing in it? Leave it in the comment section down below. I love the January Pantry Challenge because it makes me focus even harder than normal on my pantry and how I'm using it and how I'm storing it and where the holes in the pantry are, because we all find holes. Even me find holes in our pantry as we are moving through. And diversifying the pantry helps you minimize the amount of holes that you find, and it also is a great way to find out what holes there are in your pantry. Diversifying your pantry is so very important. Let's talk about it. One, we're going to talk about nutritional variety, right? Because if you were to go out, there are some people out there, bless their hearts, that buy those 72-hour meal buckets, right? Okay, the nutritional variety in those is limited. It is excessively carb heavy, is excessively salt heavy, and you will get tired of them very, very quickly, okay? So being able to build a pantry, being able to put up the foods that you enjoy and knowing what to do with them, knowing that you're hitting all of the nutritional aspects, all of the vitamins, all of the protein, all of the everything that you need for your pantry is super, super important. It really is crucial for maintaining the overall health and preventing nutritional deficiencies. Those are not fun. A balanced diet is what it's all about, okay? So you're not going to have a balanced diet out of a 72-hour emergency bucket if you have 40 of them stashed. No, you're going to end up with diabetes and a heart attack most likely. So being able to balance your diet by diversifying what is in your pantry, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit, but by being able to diversify what you store and how you store it, super important. Balanced diets are what keep us going. They also help cater to the dietary preferences or restrictions that you may have. If you have family members who are allergic to anything, or if you have family members who have preferences that have texture preferences, maybe there are some things that you're not going to stock up on because they can't eat them, or you're not going to stock up as much on because they can't eat them. So it's important to be able to identify those preferences and stock accordingly for your pantry. Your pantry is going to be different than mine. Mine's going to be different than hers. It's all good. It's what works best for us. Probably one of the coolest parts in my mind about having a pantry like this is the culinary variety. Yeah, culinary variety. Even if you think you are the most boring, basic home cook, and that's what I think. I think I am the most boring, basic home cook, okay? You're not going to get French cuisine out of this kitchen on purpose ever. But having the variety to mix it up, having the ability to say, I'm going to do this instead of that because I have this and I have that, that's amazing. And it really helps prevent things like what's up next, food fatigue. Because food fatigue is real. And anybody that has had to struggle bust through eating only what was available and having to eat the same thing for days on end because that's all you had, you know about food fatigue. Yes, I know hunger tends to trump it, but food fatigue is real. It is real and it is debilitating. And especially when you're dealing with the younger people, right? They will get over it really quick. Now, granted, you could pour ranch and ketchup pretty much on everything and they wouldn't know, but some of them would, and they would get real tired of it really, really quick. Emergency preparedness. That's what this is. This is all about emergency preparedness. Life's little emergencies, whether they be health or job or weather related. Not so much the end of the world as we know it, right? But everyday life's little emergencies, like medical emergencies that I know so many of us have gone through, where our pantries make life just that much better. And having the ability to put up and create just about anything we may want because we have it in our pantry in some form or another makes all the difference in the world. I read this week that somebody, their pantry saved Christmas because of an injury. their pantry saved Christmas because of an injury. That is what pantry preparedness is all about. Long-term sustainability is something to seriously take into consideration once you have developed and are into the pantry preparedness game. As you're just starting out, really put this one on the back shelf and come back to it. Don't forget about it. Come back to it, but it should not be your very first goal right off the bat, okay? Because long-term sustainability is something that you need to factor in a whole bunch of different things. So not only is it, can you get the meat? Can you get the produce? Can you get it if it's not available at the stores? Can you grow it? Can you raise it? Okay? Those things all factor in. And so factoring in the long-term sustainability of what you store in your pantry is really super important. As most of you may know, some of you may know, unless you're new, I no longer buy what's-her-face sauce or wash your sister sauce, Worcestershire sauce. Did I get it right? Did I? I now buy the powder form because for me, that is much more long-term sustainable, long-term storage sustainable than the stuff in the bottles. It's little tweaks like that that you can make along the way, that you learn along the way, so that you can get the most out of your pantry for the longest amount of time without really missing a whole bunch of what you really like. I love this one. Adaptability to changing circumstances. You can pretty much guarantee that Murphy is going to show up and throw a wrench in your plans, okay? And so having the adaptability to changing circumstances really, really helps. And your pantry is a big player in that. The availability of certain foods can be influenced by factors such as seasonality, market conditions, global events, hello? Diversifying your food storage makes you more adaptable to change in food availability and prices, because the prices are crazy and they're getting crazier. They're never going to go back. If you are under the illusion that things are going to be normal again, it's a whole nother conversation, okay? There is no normal. I don't think there ever was a normal. There is kind of what we were used to, and it was gradually changing. And then it went, well, okay, now we're going to raise the prices exponentially, and hey, deal with it. Well, some of us can't deal with it. Some of us can and don't want to. Some of us can't and don't know what to do. Being able to pivot, being able to change the way that you handle what goes into your pantry and what you eat is super important. A large part of that is mental. It really is. Because sometimes you just can't get away from it. There is no fix, okay? And sometimes you just need to look at different ways to do it. There are different ways out there. We'll be exploring all kinds of different ways for the rest of the year. But there are ways to make the things that you like the most without having to pay the outrageous prices that they're charging you in the stores. Crisis resilience. Yeah. Crisis resilience. When there's a crisis, like say, I don't know, a pandemic, okay? And everything shuts down. You can't get your hands on anything. There are a bunch of us who I know said, oh, well, I'm okay. This is what I've been doing. This is what I've been preparing for, right? And a lot of us found holes in our preps as a result. But being able to be resilient during a time of crisis, being able to take a deep breath and go, you know what? That's one thing I don't have to worry about. Okay. Uncle Joe's in the hospital, or mom lost her job, or the car broke down, or a tornado went through, or a hurricane's coming, or whatever the case may be. Being able to be resilient during those crises, because you have stocked up the food that you and your family will eat, is so important. That diversity in your pantry allows you to step through that crisis with one less trouble, one less stress that other people have to deal with. It's my number one reason for having a pantry. Crisis resilience. As always, learning how to store it, learning how to stock it, learning what you eat, what you don't eat. That is so important, and it reduces food waste. Food waste is an epidemic in this country. It is absolutely an epidemic in this country, and it is something that we need to start reining back in on, okay? They are saying all kinds of things that I believe are not right. They are saying all kinds of things that you believe are not right. And the fact of the matter is, if we could control food waste, which at the end of the day happens in the home, food waste is controlled by what happens in your home, by what you do responsibly or irresponsibly with the food that you bring into your home. It's not with the farmers, okay? It's not with any of that. It's with what you are doing with the food that you bring into your household. You determine the food waste. 40% of the food that is created in this country is wasted, ends up in landfills. There's just, I have no words for it. It just blows my mind. So, reduction of food waste is a very big part of pantry diversity. Being able to not waste the food, but to put it up. Being able to not waste the food, but being able to find new ways to utilize it for different things. That is what we need to focus on to build our pantries and to make us more resilient during all the crisis. Now, another diversity another diversity topic is that don't put all your eggs in one basket. Literally, okay? Now, if you can, when you can, however you can, dehydrate it, freeze dry it, can it, buy it commercially. That is diversity. Do I have tomato sauce on the shelf? Yes, I do. Do I have tomato products on my commercially canned shelf? Yes, I do. Do I have tomato powder in my freeze-dried stuff? Yes, I do. That is diversity. That means that even if one system fails, I have other systems in place to back it up. There are things that you can do to make sure that you don't ever have to go without. It takes time. It takes a little bit of effort. It takes a little bit of money, but it doesn't all have to happen today or tomorrow. This has taken me years to build up to this, and it's totally worth it in my mind. It is the best money that I have spent. It is my security net. It is my safety, and it is the best savings that I have. It is the best insurance that money can buy. This right here is going to make sure that me and mine have the food that we need to sustain ourselves, and sometimes the food that we want. In summary, here we go. Diversifying your food storage is a smart and strategic approach that enhances your nutritional intake, promotes culinary variety, because food fatigue is a real thing, and ensures preparedness for unforeseen circumstances. It really is a huge aspect of putting up a pantry. Start small, build on it. It's building blocks. All of it is building blocks. You can do it. I have faith in you. I hope that you're enjoying the January Pantry Challenge. To check out any of the videos that we've done this month for the challenge, check out this playlist right here. And until next time, everybody, be safe.